Space, the final frontier. It holds many secrets, secrets that have puzzled humanity for centuries and continue to do so. The vast expanse of the cosmos is a realm of infinite possibilities, where the unknown lurks in every shadow, and every star could be a beacon of mystery. This is a story about one of them. A tale that transcends time and space, reaching out from the depths of the universe to touch the very fabric of our reality. It is a story that begins with a whisper, a faint signal that defies the silence of the void. The year is 2475. Humanity has spread across the stars, establishing colonies and outposts on distant worlds. Advanced technology has made space travel commonplace, and yet, the mysteries of the universe remain as elusive as ever. A faint distress signal crackles across the vast emptiness of space. It is barely perceptible, a ghostly whisper that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. The signal is weak, distorted by the passage of time and the vast distances it has traveled. It is old, very old. The signal carries with it the weight of centuries, a relic from a bygone era. It speaks of a time when humanity was still taking its first tentative steps into the cosmos, a time when the stars were still a distant dream. The signal originates from a lost starship, the U.S.S. Horizon. Once a beacon of hope and exploration, the Horizon was a symbol of humanity's unquenchable thirst for knowledge. But now, it is a ghost ship, drifting aimlessly through the void. The Horizon vanished without a trace centuries ago. Its disappearance was a mystery that baffled scientists and explorers alike. No one knew what had happened to the ship or its crew. It was as if they had simply ceased to exist. Now, its ghostly call echoes through time. The message is chilling. It is a cry for help, a desperate plea that has somehow transcended the boundaries of time and space. The signal is a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the dangers that lurk in the unknown. A man's voice, filled with urgency, pleads for help. His words are fragmented, distorted by static and time, but the desperation in his voice is unmistakable. He is a man on the edge, fighting against an unseen force that threatens to consume him. He identifies himself as Commander James Cole, a name that has been lost to history, a ghost from the past. His voice is strained, filled with a mixture of fear and determination. He is a man who has seen the unimaginable and lived to tell the tale. "This is the Horizon," he says, his voice strained. "We're caught." The transmission is broken, filled with gaps and static, but the urgency in his voice is clear. He is trying to warn us, to tell us something important, repeating, "Time Rift, don't follow." The message is fragmented, but the warning is clear. Something terrible has happened to the Horizon, something that has caused it to become lost in time. And now, its ghostly transmission is a warning to all who would dare to follow in its footsteps. The message reaches the U.S.S. Intrepid. Captain Ren Carter is intrigued. He feels drawn to the mystery. Carter is a seasoned explorer. He is known for his bravery and his sharp mind. But this message troubles him. He decides to investigate. He has to see this for himself. Against the advice of his cautious first officer, Carter sets a course for the last known coordinates of the Horizon. The journey is short. Carter feels a growing unease as he nears the coordinates. He finds the Horizon adrift. It looks frozen in time. The ship is deathly silent. It is as if time has stopped for the Horizon. Carter orders a cautious approach. He sends a small boarding party led by himself. He wants to unravel the mystery of the ghostly transmission. The boarding party steps through the Horizon's airlock. The air is stale and cold. The silence is heavy. They find the ship deserted. Corridors are dark. Systems flicker erratically. The crew's belongings lie untouched, as if abandoned in haste. They encounter a lone figure, a man, disoriented and frightened. He speaks of a time loop, of events repeating endlessly. He warns them to leave before it's too late. Section 5, Cole's Logs, a dire warning. The crew of the Horizon had always known that space exploration came with its risks, but nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to face. The logs, hidden away in the depths of the ship, held secrets that were never meant to be uncovered. Carter and his team press on, their unease turning to dread. Each step they took echoed through the empty corridors, amplifying their growing fear. The air was thick with tension, and every shadow seemed to hide a new threat. They knew they had to find the source of the disturbance, but the deeper they went, the more they felt like they were being watched. They discovered the ship's log. It was an old, weathered book, covered in dust and grime. The pages were brittle and the ink had faded with time. But as they carefully turned the pages, the story that unfolded was more horrifying than they could have ever imagined. The logs are filled with Commander Cole's entries. Each entry was a window into the past, a glimpse of the crew's final days. Cole's handwriting grew more frantic with each passing day, his words a desperate plea for help. He detailed the strange occurrences that began to plague the ship, the unexplained phenomena that defied all logic. He describes their terrifying predicament. The crew was trapped, unable to escape the ship's relentless grip. They were caught in a nightmare, a never-ending cycle of fear and despair. Cole's words painted a picture of a crew on the brink of madness, their minds unraveling as they struggled to comprehend the horrors they were facing. The horizon is caught in a temporal anomaly. The ship was no longer just drifting through space, it was trapped in a rift, a tear in the fabric of reality. Time itself had become their enemy, resetting over and over, trapping them in an endless loop. Each reset brought new challenges, new dangers, and the crew's hope began to fade. Time resets, trapping them in an endless cycle. Cole's words are frantic. He wrote of the crew's repeated attempts to break free, each one more desperate than the last. But no matter what they tried, they always ended up back where they started, their memories of each reset haunting them like ghosts. He warns of the danger, of the rift's effect on the mind. The anomaly was not just a physical threat, it was a psychological one as well. The crew's minds were being twisted, their perceptions warped by the relentless resets. Cole's warnings were clear, the rift was driving them mad, and there was no escape. He begs anyone who finds the logs to stay away. His final entries were a desperate plea, a warning to anyone who might stumble upon the horizon. "Stay away," he wrote, his words filled with a sense of hopelessness. "The rift will consume you, just as it has consumed us." The logs ended abruptly, leaving Carter and his team with a chilling realization. They were not alone, and the same fate could befall them if they were not careful. Section 6, Face to Face with the Unknown. Deeper inside the horizon, Carter experiences a strange temporal shift. The very fabric of reality seems to ripple around him, distorting his perception of time and space. He feels a sudden jolt as if he's been pulled through a vortex, and everything around him blurs into a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes. It's a disorienting experience, one that leaves him momentarily breathless and confused. He finds himself face to face with another version of himself. This doppelganger is not just a mere reflection, but a living, breathing entity. They stand in a surreal mirror image, each movement perfectly synchronized. The other Carter's eyes are filled with a mix of recognition and sorrow, as if he has been waiting for this moment for a long time. The other Carter is weary and scarred. His face tells a story of countless battles and endless struggles. Deep lines etch his forehead, and his eyes are shadowed with fatigue. Scars crisscross his skin, each one a testament to the hardships he has endured. It's clear that this version of Carter has been through a lot more than the one standing before him. He has been trapped in the time loop much longer. The endless repetition has taken its toll, wearing down his spirit and resolve. Every day is a struggle to survive, to find a way out of the relentless cycle. The other Carter's voice trembles as he speaks, revealing the depth of his despair and the weight of his burden. He knows the dangers of the rift, the temporal anomalies, the unpredictable shifts, the constant threat of being lost forever in the void. He has seen others fall victim to the rift's treacherous nature, and he is determined to prevent the same fate from befalling his counterpart. His warnings are urgent, his tone filled with a sense of impending doom. He gives Carter a device, a temporal anchor. This small, glowing object is their only hope of stabilizing the time loop and finding a way out. The other Carter's hands shake slightly as he hands it over, the weight of its importance evident in his eyes. It's a lifeline, a beacon in the darkness of their predicament. He explains it's the key to escaping the loop. The temporal anchor can lock onto a fixed point in time, allowing them to break free from the endless cycle. It's a complex piece of technology, one that requires precise handling and understanding. The other Carter's voice is steady as he explains its functions, but there's an underlying urgency that cannot be ignored. He urges him to leave before the time reset occurs. The window of opportunity is closing fast, and they must act quickly. The other Carter's eyes are wide with fear, his voice rising in desperation. He knows that if they miss this chance, they may never get another. The stakes are high and the clock is ticking. Carter nods, determination setting in as he prepares to make his move. Section 7. Escape and a haunting reminder. Carter rejoins his team. They race back to their shuttle as the time reset begins. Reality around them distorts and fractures. They escape just as the horizon is consumed by the temporal anomaly. Safe aboard the Intrepid, Carter watches as the horizon disappears once more. He holds the temporal anchor, a chilling reminder of his encounter and a symbol of their narrow escape. Section 8. A final warning. Back on the Intrepid, Carter can't shake the feeling of unease. The encounter with his other self and the temporal anchor trouble him. He hears Commander Cole's voice one last time, a whisper from the temporal anchor. The rift takes its toll, the voice warns. Don't ever come back. The message ends abruptly. Silence descends upon the bridge, heavier than before. Section 9. The rift's echo. Carter knows he has had a brush with something ancient and powerful. He is forever changed by his journey to the horizon. He orders the coordinates erased from their navigation database. The horizon, with its secrets and its warnings, will remain lost. The vast emptiness of space holds its breath. The rift is silent now, waiting, but Carter knows the truth. Some places are best left undisturbed.